Cavs took care of business in Air Canada Centre in a 113-87 win over the Raptors, and now I get to finally say this because, my God, the Toronto Raptors fans, you're real fans, I'll give you that. You're relentless, you believe in your team, and anybody who says anything otherwise, you basically tell them to fuck off. Well, that's a real fan. I give you credit for that. But if you really thought you were going to win this series, have you ever watched basketball before? Here's what happened. Right, are you good?
I'm just wiping my nose.
You have a tear. Here's a tear for the Raptors fan.
Still sad.
Here's the gist of what happened. LeBron James was not messing around anymore. And granted, look, I get it. The Raptors play well on their home court until all three of the Cavaliers superstars show up and trump the living hell out of Jurassic Park. LeBron James had 33 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 13 of 22. This is a guy without a jump shot who shot 50% from the three-point line. And in the first 5 minutes of the game, started 4 of 4 and was going to do everything he possibly could if Love and Irving weren't going to get going. But here's what happened with the Raptors, and this is why they lost the series altogether. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan combined for 55 points. They shot 50% from the field. This is what they've been doing on their home court throughout the entire playoff series. Outside of Lowry and DeRozan, Louis Scola, 5 big minutes this time, opposed to his normal 15 or 18 minutes, another 0. Louis Scola scored 0 points in 3 of his last 4 games. That's embarrassing. DeMarre Carroll, not your max contract guy, but a guy you shelled out a ton of money for, who I ripped into before the season started, as the guy who's going to come in and play defense, which he did pretty well until LeBron made him his bitch, and then was going to be a three-point shooter, right? He was going to be able to get them extra points, scoring from their starters. 7 points in a win-or-go-home game on your home court. That's why DeMarre Carroll isn't worth the money he is. He has played phenomenal in certain games this playoffs, and he was amazing against LeBron during the regular season. But you got to be kidding me if you really thought DeMarre Carroll was going to stop LeBron James in his playoff mode.
It's all right. Well, either way, my thoughts on this game was just more towards the constant and just somewhat redundant now hate that you still get towards LeBron James. Can you tell me, Jason? How many finals has LeBron James now went to consecutively?
6 straight NBA finals. 6 straight.
And how many different teams?
He's done it with technically 3 different teams, granted Cavs and then Cavs again. But again, different Cavs
But I'm talking about, they're a different Cavs team, let's be honest here. But nonetheless, the argument that in comparing LeBron James, we hear this argument nonstop about whether or not he reigns as one of the best of all time. It's not even an argument anymore. Of course he's one of the best of all time. Redundant or whether or not how many rings he has in comparison to Kobe or Michael Jordan. This LeBron James takes a team that is immediately, obviously, I think without LeBron James, the Cavs are lucky to go through maybe 1 or 2 rounds in the postseason. Mm-hmm. With LeBron James, of course, they're going to go on and challenge in the NBA Finals. But it's just that we still hear this redundant argument that LeBron James doesn't compare because of the accolades that he's not as drenched in as these other players. Look at the other players who they had with them through their glory years, right? We talk about Kobe Bryant, phenomenal athlete, right? But we talk about his domination through the Shaq era. LeBron James in this game, yes, when Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving step up, it makes it a lot easier for LeBron James. But we've seen last season, LeBron James taking a team that should have just been competitive to the final game against Golden State Warriors when he had the rest of his teammates out injured. So can we stop with this comparison when it's just ridiculous anymore? Of course he's one of the best of all time, and he's proven it time and time again. And at this year, as I mentioned before, I think Cleveland Cavs will be looking at the Golden State game, and they'll be praying that Golden State remain and take that game further, because I think there will be an easier matchup for this year's Cavs team against Golden State. I fancy them in that tie. I don't know if I fancy them against OKC, but that's why we love NBA. And what is it, Game
6 is tonight, which is
OKC
I'm excited for hopefully a very
Sorry, I'm dying,
game.
By the way, trying to get my words out.
He's a trooper. LeBron James, they put up the graphic, right? So 6 straight NBA Finals. The only players alongside him that have made 6 straight NBA Finals hasn't happened in 50 years because it was like the 60s Celtics, Bill Russell and Bob Cousy. Their only available photos were in black and white. That's not even an exaggeration or a joke. That's real life. And I can't stand the hate towards LeBron when the argument is if he played in the Western Conference, he wouldn't make 6 straight finals. Okay, let's take a step back for a second. If you put LeBron on the Spurs, the Warriors, the Clippers, fuck it, the Rockets, yeah, they're going to the finals. Maybe not the Rockets. But you put LeBron on a team with a young Steph Curry only getting better, hypothetically speaking, by the way, the Spurs, the Thunder, are you kidding? He's making 6 straight finals, and he's probably winning every single one of them. So the hate for LeBron's got to go. And by the way, there's the other one too, which is the radio callers. LeBron doesn't have a chance to win the finals this year. You make the finals, you have a chance to win the finals. All right, Kyrie Irving also had 30 points. And when he gets hot from the mid-range, it's as automatic as Russell Westbrook's is. And on top of that, maybe Kevin Love's face is getting in the way of guys like Biyombo's elbows and Kelly Olynyk's arms, because somehow Kevin
the guy's
Love...
attracted to just access. He is the living version in basketball of that guy that we see in the joke videos for the goalkeeper in soccer who takes it in the face non-stop, and then he was in the volleyball skit. Like that guy just attracts accidents, and you feel bad for him because he's doing everything he can to remain healthy. And when he is healthy, I know we all ragged on him 2 games ago. There's so many games in basketball, I can't remember the exact number of which game it was. But 2 games ago, when he actually tripped up on the referee, it was obviously that was the epitome of how bad he was.
He's not the most athletic individual.
No, he doesn't. It reminds me of Thomas Muller in the world of football.
Gangly.
He's very gangly. But either way, he's so effective when you find him on a mismatch and you find him on the perimeter, which LeBron James does so very well. This Cavs team remains healthy. Those arguments that they don't stand a chance, don't even humour them, because everyone stands a chance. Who would have given OKC a chance against Golden State? Who gave OKC a chance against the Spurs? Not a lot of people, including me. I thought the Spurs were going to rout them. But when you play against a team, or potentially play against them 7 times, you figure each other out, and it's about adapting. The Cavs have adapted to every opponent they faced. Of course, they swept Detroit, and they swept everyone else in their path. But the Raptors posed a different question to them. They had 2 superstar shooters that were able to get hot and be able to take the game to the next level. And how do they do it? They adapt. They don't just find perimeter players, but LeBron James does well driving through the lane. And there's only a few things I hate when it comes to basketball, and it's the way that people judge game-by-game basis. Because as we talk about with Ben, it's obviously it's a long amount of games to try and consider. And how many times do we see when OKC and Golden State, people flip-flopping? Oh, Golden State won, they're back on top. OKC bounced back the game after. It's OKC's to lose now. They're the better team. Rather than just taking things in a bigger picture and understanding that there's plenty of games to go and they have to figure each other out. But the Cavs, if they face Golden State, I fancy them, but I don't know if I take them against OKC.
We'll have to see what happens. OKC at times have looked so fucking dominant this postseason. All right, so takeaways altogether from it before we wrap up. The Raptors, you had a very successful season, but you were no match for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you should know that going in. But as a fan, if you were a fan of that team, of course you believe in them. So good for you guys. My advice, if they want to take it, DeMar DeRozan should go. He's not a max contract guy. You can get better players, but if you want to compete next year for an NBA Finals appearance, you have to sign guys who can put the ball in the basket. You can't rely on 2 players to be your only scorers.
He said he wanted to stay.
I know. Well, it's either that or the rumors of the Lakers. Valanciunas was not 100% actually. Unlike this Steph Curry, I think he's 70%. Valanciunas was beaten up, but he still found a way to grab 8 rebounds and only 6 points. But a healthy Valanciunas, I still wouldn't even think would have been enough. It was 6 games. I thought it was going to be 5. Some thought it was going to be 4. Cavs move on. LeBron 6 straight finals. Kyrie was rocking the Kyrie ones, which are so awesome. Comment below. J.R. Smith with the best thing I've ever heard. He put the Eastern Conference trophy on the top of his locker, and he said, "We're going to go get your sister next."
Oh, nice.